In a faraway and magical kingdom called Sweetlandia, everything was made of delightful, mouth-watering sweets. Instead of rivers flowing with water, streams of rich, warm chocolate gently rippled through the landscape. The clouds up in the sky were fluffy and white, resembling clouds of soft cotton candy, floating lazily above the kingdom. The hills were not just ordinary hills. They were covered in a thick, squishy layer of marshmallows, soft and pillowy to the touch. In this marvelous and candy-coated world, there lived a small donut named Cotty. Cotty was unlike any other donut you might have met. He was round, perfectly shaped, with a smooth, glossy glaze that shimmered in the sunlight. His top was decorated with bright, colorful sprinkles, which gave him an extra sparkle of joy. But the most special thing about Cotty was his everlasting smile. No matter what happened, Cotty always wore a big grin on his face, spreading happiness wherever he went. Everyone in Sweetlandia loved Cotty for his kindness and positive spirit. He was loved by all who met him, from the tallest candy cane to the smallest chocolate truffle. Cotty lived in a cozy little house in the heart of Sweetlandia. His home was a tiny purple cottage that looked just like a piece of pie, with a roof made entirely of lavender-colored icing, dripping with sweetness. The house was warm and inviting, just like Cotty himself. His best friends, Lollipop Steve, Lily the Caramel Girl, and Toppy the Chocolate Bunny, often visited him. Together, they would explore the kingdom, discovering new sweet spots and enjoying all that Sweetlandia had to offer. But while they enjoyed the wonders of their world, Cotty always dreamed of something more. One bright and cheerful morning, when the sun rose in the sky like a giant pancake, Cotty heard a rumor that filled his heart with excitement. The old sugar owl, who lived in a village not too far from Sweetlandia, had told the tale of seeing a glimmering light on top of the mountain of three flavors. The owl claimed to have seen a sparkle that could only have come from the sweet crystal. The mountain, however, was a mysterious and dangerous place, said to be full of secrets, obstacles, and challenges. "We must go there," Cotty declared to his friends, his eyes shining bright with excitement. His little round body wobbled as he jumped up and down, his sprinkles rattling with joy. "Are you sure about this, Cotty?" asked Lollipop Steve, his face filled with concern. "The mountain is dangerous, and we're just sweet treats. We might not survive it." Cotty smiled reassuringly at his friend. "Don't worry, we'll be fine if we stick together. Besides, we're all brave in our own way, and we have each other." And so, Cotty and his three loyal friends set off on the journey to find the sweet crystal. The first challenge they faced was the sticky caramel forest. The forest was unlike anything they had ever seen. The trees had leaves that dripped with gooey caramel, and if anyone stepped on one, their feet would stick to the sweet syrup, making it almost impossible to move. Cotty, thinking quickly, had an idea. He took out some crisp waffle leaves he had in his bag and spread them on the ground for everyone to walk on, avoiding the sticky caramel. Thanks to Cotty's cleverness, they safely crossed the forest. Soon they arrived at the cookie meadow, but just as they were about to take a step onto the meadow, they were greeted by a new challenge. Out of the ground, cookie monsters began to pop up, trying to scare them with sharp chocolate crumbs. They were tall and made of crunchy cookie pieces, with chocolate chip eyes glaring at the group. Just when it seemed like they might be in trouble, Lily, the caramel girl, began to sing a sweet melody. Her voice was soft and melodic, and it echoed through the meadow. The cookie monsters, lulled by the sweet song, fell into a deep, peaceful sleep, their bodies relaxing and turning soft like freshly baked cookies. With the cookie monsters asleep, Cotty and his friends continued on their journey, crossing the meadow and heading toward their final challenge, the ice cream cave. However, the ice cream cave wasn't as welcoming as the meadow. Inside, everything was frozen solid, and the air was so cold that it made their chocolate bodies shiver with fear. Toppy, the chocolate bunny, hated the cold. He trembled and nearly gave up, but Cotty noticed something special in his glaze. Tiny little fireflies dancing around inside. Cotty smiled, remembering that every donut has a warm, glowing heart inside. He concentrated, and with a burst of warmth, his smile shone so brightly that it melted the ice around them. With Cotty's glowing warmth, they made it through the ice cream cave. Finally, after a long journey, they reached the top of the mountain of 3 flavors, where the sweet crystal awaited. The sweet crystal lay in front of them, surrounded by a beautiful halo of sparkling light. Its surface shimmered in every shade of icing, and it seemed to call out to Cotty, promising to grant one perfect wish. Cotty walked up to the crystal, his heart racing with excitement. He closed his eyes and whispered his wish softly, the words barely audible against the wind. "My wish," Cotty whispered, "is that Sweetlandia will always have peace and that all the sweets will live happily ever after." The sweet crystal flashed brightly, its light spreading across the kingdom. The trees bloomed with caramel flowers, and the rivers sparkled even brighter than before. The cookie monsters turned into friendly little cookies, waving happily at Cotty and his friends. Peace had returned to Sweetlandia. Cotty turned to his friends and smiled, his heart full of happiness. The journey had been long and challenging, but it was worth it to see Sweetlandia filled with peace and sweetness. From that day on, Sweetlandia became even more wonderful. Cotty and his friends became heroes, showing that even the smallest and sweetest creatures can do great and good things. Every night when the stars shined above Sweetlandia, a special star shaped like a donut appeared in the sky, reminding everyone that a kind heart will always find its way to happiness. One evening, as the sun set behind the Caramel Hills, Cotty and his friends sat on a soft marshmallow cloud, looking at the starry sky. They felt proud of their adventure, knowing that their kindness had brought peace to Sweetlandia. It was a place full of magic, love, and endless sweetness. As they gazed at the donut-shaped star in the sky, They knew that no matter where their next adventure might take them, they would always have each other. The world of Sweetlandia would forever be a place where kindness, friendship, and sweet dreams would always come true. And so, Cotty and his friends lived happily ever after, their adventures continuing in their hearts, as Sweetlandia remained the most magical place in the world. Every day in Sweetlandia was a new adventure, and Cotty's bright smile reminded everyone that the greatest magic comes from kindness and love.